Breaking news for Thursday, January 15th, 2026. This is a big one.
Huge.
Ukrainian military destroys 6 units of Russian air defense systems in just 2 days.
In 2 days. Unbelievable.
The unmanned systems forces of the armed forces of Ukraine, they've been working deep, really deep, behind enemy lines.
And in just 48 hours, they've taken out 6 anti-aircraft missile systems and radar stations.
These are high-value targets in the temporarily occupied territories of Donetsk and Zaporizhia.
The enemy just lost some of their most valuable systems all at once.
If you rely on this kind of timely, in-depth analysis of military strategy and technology, well, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Defense Reports. It's your go-to source for reports that show you how the front is actually changing. I'm Alex.
And I'm Aria.
Welcome to the latest Deep Dive by Defense Report. We do sharp, no-nonsense breakdowns of global defense news, military tech, and strategy. And today, we are absolutely going to cover what this headline really means.
This is a moment that, it just demands immediate analysis. When you look at the sheer value of the equipment lost in, a 48-hour window, it just brings the whole concept of modern asymmetric warfare into sharp focus.
So our mission today is to get past that headline.
Right. We need to unpack the mechanism. How is this happening?
We want to understand how Ukraine's unmanned systems forces, the SBS, pulled this off, what this new deep strike center is, and, well, what happens to Russia when its multi-million-dollar assets are just consistently taken out by cheap drones.
And this isn't just about 6 targets. The strategic implication here is profound.
What do you mean?
We're talking about the surgical removal of radar and SAM systems deep, sometimes 160 kilometers deep, behind the front line.
Wow.
The goal is to cripple Russia's entire integrated air defense system, their IADs. If Ukraine keeps this up, you could see a total collapse of situational awareness for Russia across massive sectors.
Making their logistics their command center.
Fatally exposed, yes.
A total collapse, though? That sounds dramatic. Surely Russia has redundancies, satellites, other ways to see what's coming. Is collapse the right word?
Well, it starts as degradation, for sure. But the pace and the sheer diversity of the targets they're hitting suggests that an architectural collapse is the end goal.
An architectural collapse?
Yes. If you systematically take out the command nodes, the early warning systems, and the point defense layers all at the same time, you create a chain reaction.
Okay, let's look at the targets from January 12th to the 14th. Let's see how that works.
Perfect. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so let's unpack this 48-hour blitz. It's not just the number of targets, it's the quality and the layered approach in Donetsk and Zaporizhia.
Exactly. They were deliberately hitting the 3 main layers of Russia's air defense. First, the big one, the sophisticated long-range detection systems.
Like the Vityaz radar?
Precisely. The Vityaz 50 N6E radar, part of the S-350 system. They got that in the Mariupol district. That's the long-range eye. Gone.
The eye is removed.
Okay. Then they went for the medium-range systems, the ones designed to protect troop formations, big hubs.
The Buk systems?
Yep. They neutralized a Buk M1 in the Volnovakha district and another Buk system in Polivy. Buks are, the absolute backbone for their ground forces air defense.
So you've blinded them, then you've taken out the main shield. What's next?
The close-range protection, the point defense systems. They took out a Tor SAM system in Mariupol, and then a Tor M2 and a Strela 10 in the Polivy district.
So you've hit every layer.
You destroy the long-range sensor, the medium-range backbone, and the short-range defenders. You've effectively turned a fortified zone into Swiss cheese. The system can't talk to itself, it can't see what's coming, and it can't protect itself.
And this level of coordination, hitting targets across different regions, from 46 to 160 kilometers deep, that screams unified command. Tell me about the units involved and this deep strike center.
So most of the strikes we've seen are credited to the 412 Unmanned Systems Brigade, Nemesis, and the 413th Regiment, RAID. But the real force multiplier here is the deep strike center. This is the new thing, and it's not just a headquarters building. It's a new functional unit designed to fuse all kinds of intelligence.
Fuse it how?
It takes everything. Signals intelligence from Russian radars, drone telemetry, satellite data, human intelligence, and it puts it all together in near real time.
So it's not just about finding a target.
No, it's about planning a campaign. It lets them queue up multiple simultaneous long-range attacks to just overwhelm the IADS in one specific corridor. It's systematic.
Which brings us to the economics of this. I mean, the ruthless logic behind it all. This is pure asymmetric attrition.
It is. The Ukrainian unmanned systems forces are using what they call middle strike class drones. These things carry significant warheads. We're talking over 10 kilograms.
And the commander, Madhyar, said that kind of payload
Leaves no chance, his words. And he's right, especially for these lightly armored, high-value systems.
And the cost trade-off is just, it's terrifying for Russia.
It's brutal. You have a drone that costs, what, a few $1,000s all in?
Maybe?
And it's destroying a system like the Tor M2, which is estimated at $25 to $27 million.
And that's not even the most expensive one.
Not even close. We've seen them hit things like the Nebo M radar before. Those are valued at over $100 million each. You do that math. Spending $5,000 to eliminate a $100 million asset over and over again, that's an unsustainable financial drain.
I mean, at some point you have to wonder if Russia's logistics department should just write a check to Ukraine. But seriously, why are these expensive top-tier military vehicles so fragile?
That's the key thing to understand. They aren't tanks. A main battle tank is designed to take a direct hit. It's a steel box.
Right.
A radar or a SAM vehicle is designed to fight air threats. It needs mobility and powerful electronics. The armor is just meant to stop shrapnel, not a direct hit.
It's a hard shell versus a very delicate inside.
Precisely. They are packed, absolutely stuffed with sensitive electronics. Radar arrays, computers, tracking systems like the Buck's 9S18M13.
So the drone doesn't even need to punch through.
No. A 10-kilo warhead detonating right on top of that just sends a shockwave and fragments through everything. The antennas, the internal circuits. It's a catastrophic failure, instantly.
Okay, so let's move from the tactical kill to the strategic win. If the Deep Strike Center is taking out the eyes and teeth of the I-80s, what's the end goal? You mentioned blind corridors. What does that really mean on the battlefield?
The strategic payoff is so much more than just taking out air defense. It's about force multiplication. When Ukraine creates a blind corridor, let's say a 50-kilometer wide strip leading to a key logistics hub, it means they can send in their own long-range weapons.
It's like cruise missiles or bigger drones.
Yes, and with a much, much higher chance of hitting their target.
So it's not about turning off the whole power grid. It's about flipping the local circuit breakers that protect the important stuff.
That's a great way to put it. By degrading the IADs, Ukraine gets to control that piece of sky for a certain amount of time, and the moment that gap appears, they exploit it immediately.
And we saw that happen right after this 48-hour blitz.
We absolutely did. The success was immediate. On January 12th and 13th, the focus shifted to Russia's military supply chain.
What were the follow-on targets?
They hit the Myrna and Azovska electrical substations near Mariupol. This cuts power to the industries supporting the Russian military. Then, they hit a massive rocket and artillery ammo depot in Makivka.
So you take out the shield, then you hit the magazine and the power source.
Exactly, and the strikes weren't just in occupied territory.
Right, they went deeper.
Much deeper. A drone strike on the Afipsky oil refinery in Krasnodar Krai, Russia. This one facility processes over 2% of Russia's total oil volume.
And that had ripple effects.
It forced the airport in Sochi to close temporarily.
Yeah.
These are direct strategic hits on Russia's economic arteries, and they were only possible because the air defenses were taken out first.
These strikes really highlight just the grinding reality of this war for Russia. Attrition everywhere. The total scale of their losses puts these 6 systems in a much starker context.
You have to zoom out to see the full industrial disaster Russia is facing. By mid-2025, open source intelligence confirmed Russia had lost over 4,000 tanks, over 4,030,
4,000.
and over 8,800 armored fighting vehicles. That's somewhere between 121 and 143% of their original pre-war operational tank force.
Meaning they are pulling ancient, obsolete armor out of deep storage.
Exactly. We're seeing T-55s and T-54s on the front lines. But here's the critical difference. You can refurbish a 60-year-old tank hull. You cannot easily replace a modern, sophisticated radar system like the Vikyaz.
Which brings us to that industrial vulnerability. A tank is mostly steel. A modern SAM or radar is a whole different ballgame. Why is this so much harder to replace?
It's the difference between steel production, which Russia still has, and advanced semiconductors and microelectronics, which, well, it largely doesn't.
Right.
These modern air defense systems, the Buck M3s, Tor M2s, S-350s, they're basically complex computers on tracks. They need high-end microchips, integrated circuits, advanced processing boards.
And those are the very things under heavy international sanctions.
That's the choke point. The Russian defense industry is structurally incapable of making these components or replacing these systems quickly. So every sophisticated radar Ukraine destroys is a long-term, maybe even irreparable hole in Russia's defenses. They're being destroyed far faster than they can ever be built.
And beyond the hardware, there's the psychological weight. Sources are pointing to a really symbolic date. The war has now gone on for more than 1,418 days.
That number, 1,418 days, is huge. It's the exact length of the Great Patriotic War, World War II, for them.
Wow.
And it's become a real flashpoint for pro-war Russian commentators. They're becoming disillusioned. They're pointing out that in 1,418 days, the Red Army reached Berlin. This army has only moved about 60 kilometers from Donetsk to Pokrovsk.
That's a brutal contrast between the historical rhetoric and the current reality on the ground.
It's a massive gap between the propaganda of a quick victory and the truth of a grinding, costly war. And that humiliation isn't just internal. It's damaging Russia's global prestige as a military exporter.
And we saw a perfect example of that just as this drone blitz was happening.
That's right. On January 12th, the same day, there were reports of catastrophic failures of Russian-made S-300 and box systems in Venezuela
Venezuela.
during a military exercise.
Yeah.
The official report cited technical negligence, a lack of spare parts, no qualified people. Why? Because all those resources, the technicians, the parts, they've all been diverted to the failing war in Ukraine. Russia can't even support its existing clients anymore.
So the arms race just keeps evolving. How is Russia even trying to adapt if they can't replace their best stuff?
They're trying to adapt their own drone arsenal. They've introduced new modified strike drones to try and counter Ukraine's success.
Like what?
We're seeing the Jiran 5, which is based on an Iranian drone,
Yeah.
has a massive 90-kilo warhead, and might even carry air-to-air missiles.
An air-to-air drone to hunt other drones.
Exactly. And the Jiran 4, a rocket-powered version that's much faster, also be equipped with air-to-air missiles. They're trying to create their own asymmetric drone-on-drone capability.
But Ukrainian innovation, as always, seems to be a step ahead.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I mean, despite these new threats, Ukraine's interception rates are still high. They just keep pioneering new tactics, using specialized FPV drones like the Shrike, even using helicopters to shoot down Shaheds in midair. They're constantly innovating, making sure Russia never gets a lasting advantage. Look, what this 48-hour blitz really shows us is that the whole idea of traditional layered air defense is being completely redefined. The ability to systematically dismantle an integrated air defense system at strategic depth, using this combination of smart coordination from a deep strike center and just brutal economic asymmetry. It makes those expensive, hardware-heavy defenses that major powers rely on look, well, increasingly vulnerable, maybe even obsolete. This isn't just a successful operation, it's a look at the future of conflict.
You've been listening to Defense Report by Alex and Auraria, where we analyze the latest in military strategy, global defense, and advanced weaponry. For all granular details, the cost breakdowns, and the strategic implications of these ongoing operations, make sure you subscribe to Defense Reports. It's your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports. We'll catch you next time.